Once upon a time, there was a merchant leading a group of travelers to a distant land. On their way, they reached the edge of a scorching hot desert with burning sand. They learned that during the day, the sun made the sand as hot as burning coal, making it impossible to walk on, not even for their bullocks or camels. So the leader of the group hired a guide who knew how to navigate by the stars. This way, they could only travel at night when the sand cooled down. They embarked on their perilous nighttime journey across the desert. A few nights later, after having their dinner and waiting for the sand to cool, they set off once more. Later that night, the guide, who was driving the first cart, noticed from the stars that they were nearing the other side of the desert. Feeling overly full from eating, he accidentally dozed off. Bullocks, unable to find the path, slowly veered off course, unknowingly circling back to their starting point. By morning, the group realized they were back where they had camped the day before. They were disheartened and began to worry about their situation. Since they had expected to finish crossing the desert by now, they had no more water and feared they would die of thirst. Frustration grew, and they started blaming the caravan leader and the desert guide, saying, "We're helpless without water." The merchant then thought to himself, "If I lose hope in the midst of this dire situation, my leadership means nothing. If I succumb to tears and regret and do nothing, we could lose everything, our goods, our animals, and even our lives. I must stay active and confront this challenge." So he began pacing, trying to devise a plan to save them all. Remaining vigilant, he noticed a small patch of grass out of the corner of his eye. He thought, without water, no plant could survive here. He called upon the most energetic of his fellow travelers and asked them to dig at that spot. They dug tirelessly until they reached a large stone. Seeing it, some lost hope and criticized the leader, saying, "This effort is pointless. We're just wasting our time." But the merchant responded, "No, my friends, if we give up now, we will all perish, and our poor animals will die. Let's stay motivated." With determination, he got down into the hole, pressed his ear to the stone, and heard the sound of flowing water. Immediately, he called a young boy who had been digging and said, "If you give up, we will all be lost. Take this heavy hammer and strike the rock." The boy raised the hammer high and struck the rock with all his might, and to everyone's surprise, the rock split in two, releasing a powerful stream of water from beneath it. Suddenly, everyone was ecstatic. They drank, bathed, washed their animals, cooked food, and ate heartily. Before leaving, they raised a tall flag so that other travelers could spot it from a distance and find the new spring in the midst of the hot desert. Then they continued their journey safely to their destination. This story teaches us not to give up when things get tough, because even in the hardest times, you can find a way to make things better.